Hi everyone, welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga. My name is Michelle Chua. Grab a couple of yoga blocks, a strap, a blanket, a pillow, and anything else that you may need, as the first half is Vinyasa Flow and the second half is Restorative and Yin. Let's begin in a comfortable seat. Welcome to the full moon today, this Friday, as well as the last Friday of winter 2021. So a lot of things shifting right now. Can you feel it in the air? Nice thing to think about, or helpful thing to consider when we're wrapping up a lunar cycle, is what are you completing? What is ready to perhaps turn the page from? Like, what chapter are you closing in any area of your life, big or small? And this also leads us into preparing for the first day of spring equinox. With winter hibernation and the gestation, what are you inviting or renewing? It can be an opportune time to reset your intentions. Some think of spring equinox. It's also when Persian New Year is, as more of the New Year-ish type of celebration, as winter tends to be more turning inward, introspection. Spring is much about blooming and reinvigorating. So take a pause, sit up tall, maybe place a hand to the heart, a hand to the belly, and let's take a moment to tune in. Mindfully scanning your body. Sensing the quality of your breath naturally. And feeling into your heart. What does your heart need right now? What feels alive in you in this moment? So allow a moment to just reflect upon your last season, winter, which is wrapping up. What have you been working on? What have you been contemplating? What change, perhaps, if any, are you ready for? Is there anything that you want to get moving that might feel stagnant? Now I invite you to set your intention by reframing it into a positive affirmation, a present tense statement. I am, I call in, I have. And as you take a deep breath in, seal that intention at your heart space. Then open the mouth to exhale. Let's take a couple of lion's breaths, sort of a gesture of spring cleaning here. So bring your hands to your knees or your lap. And as you inhale through the nose, fill up everything you can, gently expanding in the body. Open the mouth and eyes wide, maybe even cross the eyes, stick out the tongue, and let any sound out, cleansing exhale. Once more, inhale, fill it up. This time, hold it in, maybe sip in a little bit more. Any releasing sound, let it go. And then join your hands together at the heart. I invite you to call to mind someone or a cause or a group of people, a community that you might offer this practice to today. And cultivating the energy of our intention, sending our dedications out there, and inviting that resonance within as we hold space and community. Let's chant together 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. towards your heart center, acknowledging your inner guidance as you listen to that while moving your body here. Take things at your pace. Now let's start to cultivate long, even breaths through the nose with a gentle whisper by softly constricting the back of your throat, practicing Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breathing. Deep inhale, slow exhale, easing the breath in and out, just in the way that you'd like to move your body with a sense of grace, fluidity, and focus. And let's come on down to child's pose. Setting your knees on the floor, either together or apart. Bring the inner edges of your feet to touch towards the rear of your mat. Sitting back onto your heels. Extend your arms forward and rest your forehead on the ground or on a pillow or block. And take a few breaths to pull your pelvis back and down closer to the heels. And at the same time, lengthen the crown of your head forward. Invite space in your cervical spine at your neck by pressing the shoulder blades down your back. And as you keep your palms face down, your index fingers parallel to each other, reaching forward. Broaden the space across your shoulders by rotating your outer upper arms towards the ground. Center a few breaths by visualizing into your lower back. Fill up there as you breathe in. Now as you breathe out, draw your belly inward towards your back. Keep stretching your tailbone back and down. 2 more breaths like that. Walking your hands over to the right, stay low to the ground. You might explore stepping your left palm on top of your right palm as we lengthen your left side of your torso. Breathe into the left wall of your rib cage, down to the left side of your lower back, as though your breath could massage your body from the inside out. Soften any tension in the eyes, the tongue, the jaw, the neck and shoulders. Walk your hands forward through center again. Keep pulling your hips back as you reach your hands over to the left, outside of your mat. And maybe here you step the right palm on top of the left hand. Stretch your breath into the right wall of your rib cage and down into the right side of your lower back. And then as you walk your hands forward, rock onto your hands and knees, all fours, and let's take a long range of motion, variation of cat-cow. So begin with your shoulders stacked above your wrists and your knees a couple inches behind your hips, feet parallel, hips width apart. Tuck your toes here and inhale into cow by lifting your chest through your upper arms and rolling your shoulders down. Exhaling, contract your belly, lift your tailbone, and press the fronts of your thigh bones back to downward facing dog. Inhale again, lower onto your knees, press your heart forward, and look up. Exhale, pull in the belly, lift your hips, press the tops of your thighs back. 3 more rounds of breath. Inhale, knees to the floor, cow pose. Exhale, draw the lower belly in, downward facing dog. Inhale, cow. Exhale, downward dog. Now, as you arrive in downward dog, take a moment to pedal your feet slowly in place. Like as you bend the right knee, press the left heel down, maybe even look under your left armpit towards the ceiling, lengthening the left side of your torso and outer hip. And as you bend the left knee generously, press your right heel into the ground. Look under your right armpit towards the sky. And now this time add a swiveling of the hips like you're dancing the twist. So pivot your left toes to face the left wall. As you straighten the left leg, press the left heel down. Again, look under your left armpit. Pivot your feet to face the right wall as you bend the left knee and press the right heel down. Look under the right armpit. Try a couple more rounds of that dancing twist. Long, even breaths. You come back through center, step the feet wide as the width of your mat, and walk your hands towards your feet, the amount in which you have a short downward dog and can pick up your right hand and cross it to the outside of your left leg, catching hold of your outer left shin or ankle. Press your right heel into the earth and look under your left armpit again, this time rotating the rib cage for a few breaths. Feel your neck relaxed. Let your head fall. One more breath in this twisting downward dog. Then set your right hand forward on the ground. Cross your left hand to catch your outer right shin or ankle. Root the left heel into the earth and look under your right armpit towards the sky. Twisting breath by breath. Let your head fall. Float your shoulders up away from your neck. Let's take 2 more full breaths. Both hands towards your feet and heel toe your feet about hips width apart and parallel. Folding over your legs at the rear of your mat, bend your knees generously. Bring your hands to your hips and point your elbows towards the sky. Draw in your belly and shift your weight forward. With a flat back, leading with your chest, inhale, slowly rise to stand. Sun salutation, half sun salutation. Inhale, circle your arms overhead. Watch your palms touch. Exhale, bend your knees if there's any tension in the back of your body so that you can bow without strain and with a flat back. Press into your legs or the ground. Inhale, stretch the top of your head forward. Keep engaging the belly and exhale, fold in. Press down to your feet. Inhale, circle your arms. Watch your palms meet overhead. Then exhale as though blessing yourself here today. Trace your hands in prayer down the center line of your body, tracing your 7 main energy centers. Take 2 more Ardha Surya Namaskars. Inhale the arms up into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow into Uttanasana. Inhale, rise forward into Ardha or half Uttanasana. Exhale again, Uttanasana. Root down to rise, breathe in, Urdhva Hastasana again. And then blessing your energy centers. Trace the thumbs down. One more. Inhale, sweep the space around you. Exhale, dive in. Inhale, expand your heart forward. Exhale, bow into earth and yourself. Inhale, root to your soles and rise towards the sky. Exhale, blessing down to your heart and center. Now let's walk up to the top of your mat. And you may want to have your blocks framing your feet here so that when you step back, you can place your hands on the blocks if the ground feels too low for now. So start in Padasana, hands to meet at your heart, feet hips width, parallel, stand tall. Connect to your breath again. Let's take a couple of rounds of Surya Namaskar C, sun salutation C, moving to the breath. This time, release your arms by your sides and inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders back and down, coil your chest up, then exhale, fold over your legs. Place your fingertips down, inhale, step the left knee back, kneeling lunge, look up, holding your breath, step into plank pose, then exhale, lower your knees, your chest, then your chin. Inhale, slide your belly to the ground and coil your chest up, cobra pose. Exhale, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot forward beside your left thumb, lower your back knee and look up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders back and down, lifting your heart. Exhale, your hands to meet at your heart. Side two, last one. Inhale the arms forward, gently back bend from under the shoulder blades. Exhale, bow over your legs. Inhale, step right knee back, look up, hold your breath, and step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, slide down to the ground in cobra. Exhale, pull your hips to downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward, lower your back knee and look up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, coil your chest up. Exhale, your hands together at your height. Let's take a sun salutation A. Inhale, circle your arms again, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Step into your plank pose. Continue the exhale, gliding forward, bending your elbows to hug your ribs in Chaturanga. Cobra or upward dog, breathe in to lift your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here as you let your body stay still, focusing on the sound of your breath. We're going to start a new flow. So press your palms down and forward and inhale, raise your right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend that knee towards your nose and round forward into plank pose. Lightly stepping your right foot just beside your right thumb. Stay in a high lunge. Hands on blocks of the floor. Inhale in your lunge, sink your hips, extend your chest forward. Exhale, keep your feet where they are and straighten your front leg by pulling the right hip back as you bow in pyramid pose. Inhale, step the right foot to the right, lizard lunge, place both hands on the inner side of the foot and lower your back knee. Exhale, flex your right foot and splay open your right thigh, pressing your right palm against the inner thigh as you look behind your right shoulder. Inhale, plant your hands to the ground, step the right foot front and center. Spin the back heel down, warrior two, rise up. Exhale, peaceful warrior, keep the front knee bent, side bend towards your back wall, raising the right arm overhead. Inhale, return to warrior two and straighten your front leg, prepare for triangle. Exhale, scissor the right hip back and reach the right hand to the right side of your right shin on a block or the floor. Extended triangle. Inhale, sweep your left arm overhead towards the front of the room. Keep drawing the shoulders down your back, chest towards the sky. Exhale, lower your hands into plank pose and lower onto your knees. Keep the right leg straight. Inhale, side plank, right heel to the floor. Raise your right arm towards the sky. Exhale, extend the right arm overhead for a lateral extension. Draw the belly in. Inhale, step into plank pose, either cat-cow or exhale to lower into chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog for 3 breaths in stillness. So we've got quite a journey to take on one side. Focus on your breathing and I'll focus on remembering what's next. So here we go. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, bend the knee towards your nose, round into plank. Step the left foot beside your left thumb. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Inhale in a high lunge, sinking your pelvis. Keep your feet where they are. Exhale, straighten the front leg and fold, pyramid pose. Inhale, lower the back knee. Step the left foot to the left, lizard lunge. Exhale, flex the left foot. Gently press left palm against inner left thigh. Look over the left shoulder behind you. Inhale, place the left foot front and center. Drop the back heel, heel to arch. Rise up to warrior 2. Keep your left knee bent. Exhale, sweep the left palm towards your back wall, peaceful warrior. Inhale, rise to warrior 2 and straighten your front leg. Prepare. Exhale, enter triangle. Swivel the hips back. Lower the left hand to the left side of your left shin. Inhale, sweep the right arm overhead, extended triangle pose. Exhale, your hands down, step into plank. Lower your right knee. Keep the left leg straight. Inhale, spin the left heel down, raise your left arm up into side plank, Vashisthasana. Exhale, sweep the left arm overhead for a lateral extension. Inhale into plank pose, decide where you want to flow. And exhale, take it down to your vinyasa. All the way through, let's meet in downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Slowing your breath down and cultivating inner and outer balance. Let's try the sequence again on the first side. Inhale, raise your right leg back. Exhale, bend your knee towards your nose, round to plank. Step the foot beside right thumb, high lunge. Breathe in, sink the hips. Breathe out, straighten and fold, pyramid pose. Breathe in, lower the back knee, scoot the right foot to the right, lizard lunge. Exhale, press the right inner thigh, flex the right foot and look over the right shoulder. Inhale, align right heel to arch of left foot, cartwheel the arms and rise, warrior 2. Exhale, side bend towards the back of the room, peaceful warrior. Inhale, return to warrior 2, prepare, straighten the right leg. Exhale, entering triangle pose, right hand to the right side of right shin. Inhale, sweep the left arm overhead, extended triangle pose. Exhale to plank, lower the left knee, keep the right leg straight. Inhale, spin the right heel down, raise the right arm into side plank. Exhale, extend the right arm overhead. Inhale from plank pose. Decide, lower into your vinyasa as you exhale. Then again, back to downward dog. Take 1 cycle of breath. Last one, second side. Inhale, raise the left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, round into plank. Step the foot forward to a high lunge. Inhale, sink your pelvis in your high lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose, straighten the leg and fold. Inhale, lizard lunge, lower the back knee, step the left foot to the left. Inhale, splay the left thigh open and look over your left shoulder. Exhale, align heel to arch. Inhale, cartwheel the arms, warrior two. Exhale, side bend to the back of the room, peaceful warrior. Inhale, return to warrior two and straighten the front leg. Exhale, reach forward and down, triangle pose. Inhale, sweep the top arm overhead, extended triangle. Exhale, lower to plank. Lower the right knee. Inhale, spin the left heel down, raise the left arm up, side plank. Exhale, sweep the left arm overhead, extended. Inhale, plank pose. Take your choice of your vinyasa. This time in downward dog, let's take 3 slow breaths. Then come on down to your knees. To sit, extend your legs in front of you, or actually step your feet in front of you so your knees are bent. And make sure that your feet are about hips width apart. Take a block, set it aside by the rear edge of your mat. Take a strap, place it out there too. And then extend your arms forward with your palms face up. Hug in the front ribs. Draw your core muscles towards your center line and relax your shoulders. Take a few slow breaths, maybe 5 or 10, to slowly lower onto your back. Core stability. Once you've lowered your head, bring your arms down by your sides and slide your heels back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite. Then take the block by the skinniest width and hug it between your knees and thighs. Separating your feet as wide apart as your knees are, parallel your feet and ground each 4 corners. Ground the backs of your shoulders. Now this is a different variation, a very subtly different variation of bridge pose. We had a request to lengthen the space in the lower back and to do something a little therapeutic. So this is one way to help lengthen and stabilize the lower back, practicing bridge in this way. So visualize your tailbone as your pelvis is on the floor, and imagine there's a string connected to your tailbone. And that string is going to be pulled up, straight up towards the block. So before you even lift your pelvis off the ground, start to tilt your tailbone upwards to point at the block. That contracts the lower belly. Now lead with that imaginary string and start to lift the tailbone. We're not going for height here, we're going for feeling that elongation of the lower back. And then stretch the front of your thighs forward. So you might not go all the way up. We're gonna hold here for 5 breaths, and then we're gonna come back down and try it 2 more rounds. The 4th time we'll stay lifted longer, and you may wanna clasp the hands under your back. With an exhalation, begin to lower your upper back. Imagine each vertebra kissing the ground one at a time. Take it slowly so the belly is contracted as you're lowering to create that sense of mindful, controlled movement. And then the tailbone lands last. So we initiate and we culminate with a tailbone. So picture the tailbone, that string starts to pull it up. Before the pelvis even lifts, you're tilting the pelvic bowl towards the belly. Then lead with the tailbone. Stretch it towards the block. Stretch the fronts of your thighs forward. Spiral your inner thighs slightly towards the ground. Feet stay rooted. 5 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, tilt your chin slightly back. Inhale. Keep stretching the tailbone forward. Exhale, 4. Inhale, spin the inner thighs slightly towards the floor. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Relax the face. Inhale. And slowly lower. Upper back, 1 vertebra at a time, so the tailbone lands very last. Slow and mindful. All right, prepare for the last tailbone initiated bridge pose. When you're ready, first point the tailbone up, then begin to lift the pelvis. Stretching the tailbone forward, fronts of the thighs forward. Now as you hold for 5 breaths, visualize the bottom of your glutes, your buttocks, that you're releasing the flesh of your buttocks towards the backs of your knees. The flesh of the buttocks towards the backs of the knees. Use that to create a little more lengthening in your lower back. And then when you're ready, 1 vertebra at a time, lower slowly. And when you eventually lower the tailbone, pause at least a breath, maybe 3 breaths. Prepare to lift bridge pose and hold for your own count of 5 to 10 deep breaths. And this time you might walk the upper arms closer together under your back ribs. You might clasp the hands, just as long as the elbows don't have to bend apart in order to clasp your hands. Try to keep your arms straight. Fill up your lungs. Feel your chest expand and rise, but continue to lengthen your tailbone towards the block. The flesh of your buttocks, continue to release it towards the backs of your knees. Keep the heels rooted as you activate your hamstrings. When you decide to come down, articulate each vertebra, kissing the ground. And once you've lowered your pelvis, go ahead and place the block aside and step your feet apart a little wider than your hips width. Drop your knees together so that they touch. We're going to take a counter posture with the shoulders, stretching across the upper back. So bend your elbows wide apart like the shape of a cactus, preparing for eagle arms. Then cross your right elbow on top of your left elbow and either hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Walk your shoulder blades further down your back ribs to lengthen your neck. Seal in the bottom of your front ribs. Lengthen your tailbone like a snake slithering towards the front edge of your mat. And as you align your elbows with your shoulders, press your forearms gently towards the sky. And let's take another 5 breaths. Direct your breath by visualizing into whatever part or parts of your body seem to be speaking a little louder right now, if any. Offering space there where you might need it through your inhalations, and allowing softness and ease through your exhalations. On your next in-breath, reach your fingertips towards the back wall overhead, and then uncross the elbows back to the cactus shape. Cross the left elbow over the right and either hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Send the shoulder blades further down your back. Align your elbows with your shoulders and gently press your forearms towards the sky. Notice if the sensations might be different here. Breathe into where your body wants your attention. 5 breaths. You might imagine the exhales like you're cleaning house. The body is your house, your temple, and any unnecessary debris, blockages of energy flow or tension, sweep it away. Visualize sweeping it away through your exhalations. On your next inhale, lift your fingertips towards the back wall. Exhale, spread your arms and catch hold of your bent knees, bring them towards your chest. Now separate your knees wider apart than your hips distance. Ground the backs of your shoulders and your tailbone. And breath by breath, hug your thighs even closer to the outer edges of your ribcage. Keep pressing your tailbone into the ground, shoulders into the ground, lengthen your neck. 5 more breaths here. It's like a supine version of child's pose, but more actively stretching the lower back. As if you are ironing the back of your spine against the ground. Tilting your chin a little closer to your chest without closing off your throat. One more deep breath. And from here, step your feet on the floor and separate them about as wide as the width of your mat, at least wider apart than your hips. Separate your knees just as wide apart as your feet and drop both knees to your right side. Get a little bit deeper into the psoas. Point your left knee down the midline of your mat. Notice any sensations appearing, especially along the left side of your pelvis, the front of the hip, the left side of the lower back. That's the area of the psoas. Now, if you want to invite more sensation, especially there, pick up your right foot and cross the ankle just above your left knee so that the front of your left thigh lengthens further forward. Now to stretch into the sides of your torso, you could also raise your arms overhead. Bend your elbows and catch hold of opposite elbows as you drop your arms back and relax the shoulders down your back. Now bring your awareness to the bottom of your front ribs. Imagine them melting softly towards the back of your body. Now let's take another 10 breaths slowly. And when you finish your own count of 10 deep breaths, gently uncross the legs and step your feet on the ground again, wider apart than hips distance. Pause there with your knees also as wide apart as your feet. Take a couple of slow breaths. And now let's begin to drop the knees to the left. Point your right knee down the center line of your mat. Pause here and pay attention to the sensations around the right side of your hip and lower back. Notice if this side might need something different. Maybe you stay here or you add more sensation by crossing your left ankle just above your right knee, encouraging the front of your right thigh to lengthen forward. Now, if you did so on the first side, raise your arms, catch hold of the other elbow on top, dropping the arms down and pressing the shoulders down your back. And then again, soften the bottom of your front ribs towards your back body and pubic bone. Let's begin counting 10 spacious breaths. Where is your body perhaps asking for space, for release? A little bit of spring cleaning energetically. Breathe into there. When you finish your 10 breaths, gently uncross your legs, step your feet again, about mat width apart. Place your hands onto your frontal hip bones. And slowly but rather firmly, press your hands down your thighs, from your frontal hip bones towards your knees, helping to release a little more space in the psoas. So the hands don't move very far. You're just opening up a little more space, especially in the fronts of your hips. Let's take another 2 breaths here. And then again, draw your bent knees into your chest. Slowly rock side to side. You may even like to circle your thighs together and apart, drawing circles in the air with your knees. And go in both directions for a few more breaths. Whether you rock forward or one side, lift your torso upright to sit, and let's bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Preparing for Baddha Konasana. You might want to have a block or a stack of blocks in front of your feet as we fold forward for 10 breaths. Take hold of your big toes, your outer feet, or grab a strap and place it around your outer feet to give you a little more space to sit up tall. Relax the shoulders down and open your throat. Draw in your lower belly and then lift it up. as your pelvis roots down. So with that action, you're going in opposite directions, pulling the belly in and up and pressing the pelvis down. Then extend your chest forward. Deep breaths, 10 breaths. Now you could rest your forehead on your blocker blocks. You could rest the arms forward. Try not to overly round the back here. It's okay if it does a little bit, but keep your throat open and keep your shoulders relaxing down. And then again, pay attention to how your body is communicating to you here. Where might you send your breaths? Slowly press your hands into the ground, pull in the belly, press the pelvis down. With an inhale, lift from your chest to rise up. All right, let's set up for a couple last forward folds here. So step the ball of your right foot into your strap and extend your right leg forward, flex the foot. Take your left thigh and cross it as much as you can over the right thigh so that you're in cow face pose with the bottom leg straight. Hold the strap with both hands. Press your pelvis firmly down and lift. In your mind's eye, visualize breathing from your tailbone to your crown. So lift up each vertebra. Invite more space between each. Shoulders back and down. Firm the belly in. And then start to fold forward. 10 breaths. Ardha Gomukhasana. Half cow face pose. When you're ready, press your pelvis down, firm your belly in, lead with your chest, and inhale, slowly rise. Let's remove the strap and transfer it to the ball of your left foot. Flexing the foot, cross your right thigh over the left as much as you can. You can stack the knees. Press your 2 sitting bones down. Lift up from the base of your spine to your crown. Imagine breathing a little more space between each vertebra. Roll your shoulders back and down. Firm the belly in. Keep your pelvis rooted as you extend your heart forward, bowing in. 10 breaths. As your pelvis roots down, imagine you're gently pulling the lower spine from it as you're bowing. And when you're ready, draw in the belly, lead with your chest. Inhale to rise. All right, now let's set up for Shavasana. We didn't use too many of our props, and if you want some more lower back support, you can use your pillow or rolled up blanket right across the backs of your knees. Take a moment as you're extending your legs to roll your thighs from the hip sockets inward and outward, maybe even shake them out. Notice any parts of the body in which you may have been feeling stuck or stagnant or tense in any way, and just take some last loosening movements there. what wants to shake. And as you're lying back, you may even like a weighted pillow or blanket right on top of your pelvis and lower belly. Not only can that feel grounding and a feeling of safety, but it can also help to encourage more release in the psoas. Maybe cover your eyes if you have an eye pillow or something like it. And as you arrive in your final resting pose, I invite you to do what you did at the start and mentally scan your body just for a moment here. Feel into any parts that might still be engaging or exerting effort that you could allow a sense of surrender, feeling of release and letting go. And with eyes closed, allow your breath to completely flow on its own. Shavasana. What's feeling alive in you in this very moment? Notice the effects of how you practiced yoga today. Be gentle with yourself as you start to wake up your body. You might begin by rubbing your thumbs across your fingertips, feeling those subtler sensations. By moving slowly, not abruptly, keep your nervous system in a state of feeling calm and safe, taking your time, very mindful and slow movements. Perhaps gently turning your head, feeling your neck, wiggling your toes, circling your feet, stretching your hands, and then gradually moving the larger parts of your body. Feel the way that your body is breathing through this transition. Connect with what's here from moment to moment. You might turn over to your right side, then press into the ground. And find a way to sit that offers your body comfort and support, where you could feel grounded, upright and alert, as well as relaxed and open. Beginning our guided meditation practice, choose a way to position your hands to cultivate the feeling tone of your intention. Cultivating a feeling of balance, you might bring all the fingertips of each hand to touch, or stacking the palms face up at the center of your lap with thumb tips touching cultivates a neutral tone. A feeling of focus and grounding is thumb and first finger to touch, palms face down. Focus and energizing, same position of the hands, but palms face up. So choose your mudra. Close your eyes or steady a soft gaze just ahead at one spot at eye level. And begin by resting your awareness on your natural breathing. Feeling your breath easily come and go. In today's meditation, I invite you into self-inquiry as we wrap up winter and the lunar cycle. In the past month, what are you most proud of? Rather than trying to think of an answer, let go of any effort and just pause in the space. Allow space for whatever wants to come up, images, words, thoughts. Contact that feeling of feeling proud of yourself, a healthy confidence, and notice what comes up. And now let's expand that timeline to the past season, the last few months of winter season. What are you most proud of? Again, just sit and observe what surfaces, if anything. And now, as we turn the page and write a new chapter in your life cycles, beginning a new month, what would you like to see more of in your life, to experience? And now, rather than calling it in as something far into the future, I invite you to experience it now. Allow yourself the feeling of what it would be like to immerse in whatever you're calling in. To have landed that gig that is so ideal for you, to have created what you have been longing to create, to feel so alive and thriving in your body. Whatever it is you're calling in, allow yourself to feel that in the present moment. As though it were something you can reflect on a month later from now as something you were proud of. Allow your whole body to feel it. What would it feel if your face experienced whatever it is that you're calling in? Allow whatever facial expression might come up. How would it affect the way your lungs breathe? Can you imagine your lungs smiling? What would that feel like? What would it feel like if your spine celebrated this too? Imagine how it would feel for your spine to smile. Now, this might sound silly, but you have so much power in creating with your mind and affecting your inner state. And as you take the reins of choosing how you feel, then you begin to vibrate at the level of whatever it is that you're calling in, becoming a magnet for it. This is the law of attraction. So rather than entertaining what ifs as doubts, I invite you to continue entertaining what ifs as positive affirmations. From the base of your spine to the crown of your head, visualize a deep, renewing inhalation. Hold the breath in there and then out through your heart space like wings expanding. Exhale and let that feeling emanate from you, that feeling of renewal and invigoration. How do you keep yourself inspired and aligned to what it is that you're creating? Let's close the practice here, but continue to live it. Chant with me 3 ohms to end. Take a deep breath. Bow in towards your inner guidance. Thank you for sharing your practice. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.